What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction video, and here we go for you guys today, man. Jordan Fringe. Whew, this iCarly episode was a lot darker than usual. I haven't did one of this guy's videos in a year, a little bit over a year. But yeah, we're back with some more Jordan, man. Jordan Fringe. All right. So this is where I left off on this video right here, because I had to check back because it's been such a long time. But yeah, let's continue this series of the iCarly journey. And yeah, by the time I'm filming this recording, I did the first season of the iCarly revival. So I got to do season 2 and 3, I believe. So yeah, let's get into it.
Oh! Yeah.
Another iCarly vid? Jeez, how many of these are you going to do, Jordan? Well, it's not like you're going to do another one Friday, right? You're not going to do another one on Friday, right? Well, I promise this channel does more than iCarly. It's just as I planned out what I want to cover throughout July, it just kind of equaled out to having this week be iCarly week. But today's video is actually the first of 2 follow-up videos. A few weeks ago, we covered the darker episode of iCarly titled I, Psycho. It involved an awkward fan named Nora who ends up kidnapping Carly, Sam, and Freddie. Go check out that video to be fully caught up. Here today, we are covering an episode that happens a bit later in the series where once again...
Oh, this is part 2 of the I Psycho thing. Okay. This episode, I would say is much worse than the first part with Nora. This second part with Nora, this was insane. Because I didn't think they was even going to bring Nora back into the show, but they did, and they made it worse than what it was originally.
Nora returns. But is she still a psycho as the show suggests? Well, probably. The episode's titled I Still Psycho, so I assume that's a yes. I have a lot planned for the channel. A bunch of cartoon content, live action content, and a bunch more that you'll see very soon, so I thank you for the support on everything that I've been making recently. I cannot express my gratitude enough for it all. You all truly make this feel like we have a fun community to discuss these shows and movies, and I look forward to every time a new video goes up and a new discussion can begin. Make sure to hit the like button as it does help out this video a lot, and I'd be very appreciative if you did. Okay, let's jump into the video. Our episode begins at the end of an iCarly web show, doing the cowboy bit in which we also see in the previous Psycho episode at Nora's house. The crew gets an email saying that Nora is up for a parole hearing to discuss if the iCarly peeps think Nora is well enough to be let out of prison and integrated back into society. When they are discussing it alone, Sam and Freddie discuss the possibility of voting in favor of Nora getting out, while Carly is still shaken up about the experience and doesn't think that she should have a second chance, even though she felt bad for Nora at the end of the original episode. Gibby comes over along with a carbon copy of his head in a bag. This will be a running gag all the way through part 3 of the series in Sam and Cat, as well as in various other showings in iCarly, and he even votes in favor of Nora being released as well. At the court hearing, we see a very remorseful Nora pleading her sorrow towards what she had done previously, and as Carly begins to let her emotions out, she starts to feel guilt seeing Nora and Nora's parents cry and just gives up, exclaiming to let her go. After the
You know what I'm just now realizing? I think this was the very start of, I guess, a normal person fantasizing an online creator to the point where they would stalk them, do anything to have some one-on-one time with them, anything, come up with the most wildest excuses. I think this episode was like the birth of that, or like part 1, when she first did it. So now that's what I'm thinking. This is like insane now that I'm thinking about it, because when this episode came out, it wasn't too much of that going on. It wasn't like normal. But like in 2025, this like everything has changed up and like since this episode has came out, and you see a lot of these things today, and how content creating has you obviously blew up, and now you got everybody just wanting to be close to their favorite creator in a weird type way. And I feel like this was the birth of it finally happening.
The whole crew forgives her and the judge releases Nora back into the world. She is very appreciative and invites them to a special dinner party in which they are all very smartly refusing to go to until none of Nora's classmates and even her own dad will not be attending. Which, yep, you guessed it, the iCarly crew gets swept up in guilt and agree to going to the dinner party. You think no matter how—
Wait. You just wait. Her classmates and her doesn't even want to go to her own party. That says a lot. That says a lot. But it was like that in that first episode that Nora was in. Like nobody would come to her party, not even her own school or anything like that. And I guess that was for a good reason, but like, nah.
Classmates and even her own dad will not be attending. Which, yep, you guessed it, the iCarly crew gets swept up in guilt and agree to going to the dinner party. You think no matter how much Nora has changed that they wouldn't be foolish enough to set one foot back at her house? But I digress. Maurice the chicken is there at least. Nora's mom shows off the special Norwegian food prepared for the night, and later in that night, Spencer comes over to pick them up, but when he gets there, he has to use the restroom where Nora's mom shows him to the basement. Oh, I wonder where this is going. As Carly, Sam, and Freddie try walking out the door to say goodbye, Nora says it's not goodbye. And here begins the creepiness of the dual episode special. The mom locks the basement door and tells the crew that they are going to be here for a while.
Wait, I'm sorry for pausing so much, but why? Like, but how? How did y'all get duped this badly to where the door was locked from the inside? How? And why did Spencer follow her to the basement? Why would she take him to the basement? I would have been like, wait, why are we going to the basement? Hold on, this is like whatever.
Front door and windows are all sealed shut. The windows were replaced with the maxi-glass used to trap them in the basement last time. Spencer is shown to be locked up to a spinning wheel and is threatened by severe amounts of spinning if the iCarly crew tries anything to harm Nora or her family. And that's really the first part of the episode. It concludes right there here on a darker note of the crew having no way out and Spencer being tortured in the basement by a spinning wheel. We find out in the next part of this two-part episode that her goal is to
Another thing, how did you let a whole woman chain you up to the wheel? How did that even happen? How did you allow that to happen? I never thought about that when I first watched this show, like this episode. They both go to the basement, and the next scene is him being chained to the wheel. So you're telling me that this woman was able to chain on Spencer to that wheel. No explanation, no reasoning.
Undo the taint of her 16th birthday party in which Nora blames them for ruining, as well as the parents are just as crazy as Nora is. The mom brings out more birthday party guests who are just dressed up mannequins, and we hear that this party will go on forever and ever and ever and what? You know the evil things that every villain says at some point. Nora then collects their phones and uses Freddie's phone to text Freddie's mom that he's okay and he's with Spencer at a hotel for the night and to not worry. Then with the phone, we see the classic,
"Will it blend?"
And it in fact
Would it blend?
Don't breathe this.
In an attempt to escape, and thanks to Gibby's head recreation, they make it look as if he is sleeping on the couch as Gibby begins to climb up and out of the chimney while Nora and her mother are in the other room preparing the cake. Shortly after, Nora and her mother come back out singing how jolly great of a person Nora is and forcefully kisses Freddie, this time with no maxi-glass in front of her, and yeah, that's not cool at all. Gibby finally makes his way up to the top of the chimney, but ends up getting wedged and only his head and shoulders are peeking out into the fresh air of the outdoors. Nora simultaneously gets crazier and crazier and finds out that Gibby isn't actually there and tortures Spencer some more for this. Cut to the next morning where the crew wakes up, still trapped at Nora's place. Gibby is still stuck and Nora is still threatening the crew. Nora's dad comes home from his random camping escapades, which were more important than his own daughter's birthday party / kidnapping attempt. But as it turns out, yep, he's just as crazy as the rest of the family as we thought. And as a family, they then threaten the crew with the forever and ever thing again. In a quick thinking of how to get out, Freddie remembers that he has a chip implanted in him by his mother's overprotection. So Sam and
I actually forgot that was even a thing. Cause like the first episode they mentioned that in was was when they went to Japan. Yeah, yeah, Japan. Yeah, yeah. Like that was the first time I think we found that out, and that was before I want that. Yeah, that was before the episode that Nora was in. I want to say I don't remember, but yeah, I forgot about that chip. There's a lot of things in this episode that came into play to rescue them. For like I remember like for one that was it was a chip. It would have been Gibby if he was a little bit skinnier. Um, let's see. Yeah, I think that was it. In the phone thing, if Nora wasn't smart enough to destroy the phone, so it wouldn't be tracked, you know. But she didn't know about the chip in his head though. That's tough. A lot of things I forgot. Yeah. The one thing when I first seen this episode, the one thing I wasn't expecting was the parents to be as crazy as she is. Because the parents was not in that first episode. I forgot where she said her parents was at, but they wasn't in that first episode. So whenever Nora got picked up and put to jail, I'm pretty sure those parents got a call, and then they would set up that whole plan over what is it, a couple of weeks or a couple of months until this episode came, and then yeah, they set it up, they planned it, they almost got away with it. If it wasn't for that chip. Now the only thing that I wondered how they was gonna get away with this is because she said it was gonna keep going forever and ever and ever. And you know how Freddie's mom is. So even if that was her play for some reason, I don't know why she thought that was gonna work. You know Freddie's mom was not gonna allow that to happen. You know, because Sam's parents, they're not the best of parents. They don't they're not worried about Sam. And then you got Carly. Spencer's trapped in that death wheel in the basement, so he can't do nothing. So it was up to Freddie's mom to come and save the day. And she wasn't gonna she was gonna wonder where Freddie was in a mere minute. She was like, you know. So yeah, Nora was kind of dumb on that part, but whatever.
Carly trigger its safety response by shocking Freddy with the shock pen, making its return from the I Get Pranky episode. Freddy's mom, with the help of T-Bo, starts heading towards Nora as she worries Nora has harmed him once again, busting through Nora's front door on T-Bo's motorcycle, and an all-out fight begins at the house with Sam flipping Nora into a table, Carly going into the basement to rescue Spencer from the spinning wheel of torture, T-Bo and Nora's dad get into a brawl, and Freddy's mom bringing back the Fenson Bensons and sword fights both Nora and Nora's mom at the same time. And Sam makes a burger. Say what you want about Freddy's mom being overbearing, but she's pretty awesome here and she whips their butts. Sam then shocks them all with the same shock pen they used on Freddy, and then the iCarly crew tells Nora that her and her parents are going to prison forever and ever and ever, and I'm not doing this again. We get it. They all watched the film masterpiece that is The Shining. Anyway, they can make it home safely. Nora and her parents are going to prison, and we find out that Gibby is, well, he's still stuck in the chimney. Now, for the sake of just discussing the darker parts of the episode, the B plot of this being T-Bo revealing his true self to Mrs. Benson, after faking who he is in order to rent a room from her, and after just being kicked out, he regains his room for rent there by helping her save her son. It was a nice B plot that was true to the characters and how she would react to him not being the suit-wearing, well-mannered gentleman, but how she grows to accept it over the thing that she loves the most, her son, even if she won't hug T-Bo. Don't touch us! Alright, geez, Mrs. Benson. Nora's father is actually played by Andrew Friedman, Uncle Jack in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so at least for the creep factor, that was good casting there. He just needs to keep his tiny hands to himself.
Big, masculine. My hands tell a story.
Like stated in the previous video, this is all played for comedy, but when you really look at it all, it's pretty dark once again. And I'm not sure which is darker, the original episode based on them being trapped in a basement.
Nickelodeon loves to do that a lot, man. Like, even though I was a kid watching this episode, I've never, like, I always peeped, like, certain things. Like, since the first time they introduced Nora with the base, like, them going to the basement, and, like, there's certain things like that. And when I realized that they was actually trapped, they couldn't get out, that would terrify me. Especially, that would terrify any kid watching this. Knowing that Nora's parents is also crazy, too, that I always peeped, that I always, like, that was, like, come on, man. Like, those things within itself is dark. being trapped in a place that you cannot escape from physically or mentally. That's terrifying. That's dark. And yeah, it's just the little things. No matter if it's in a kid show or like just like animated live action, it's still scary nonetheless. It's always gonna give you that creep factor, and this episode did its job. You know, not to say that it wasn't like over the top scary and every little thing was meant to creep you out, but for the things that they did point out, yeah, it did its job for that for sure.
Or this, where the characters make similar mistakes, like going over to the house again, which is played like a horror film sequel in which characters, for the sake of a sequel, make same mistakes, with certain aspects being a little, or a lot, more ramped up, with the whole house being the trap this time, and Spencer being tortured on a spinning wheel, as well as upgrading the final fight from a WWE SmackDown match between two people to a whole family brawl between the Dershowitz and the crew, with hand-to-hand combat, sword fighting, and electrocution. Okay, saying it like that does make it sound a lot more epic and dramatic than it is. This was a kid's episode of television, mind you. But seeing Tebow and Miss Benson burst through the door on a motorcycle only to get into a battle with a shovel and a 2-on-1 sword fight was pretty cool. And Nora's house can really never catch a break when it comes to getting utterly destroyed inside. I guess they really don't need to worry about that in prison, right?
What's happening?
So that was part 2 of the Nora trilogy. Part 3 we will cover here on the channel soon, but I would love to know your thoughts on this part. Do you think this is darker than the original iPsycho? Are you a fan of the Psycho episodes in general? Let me know. The third part of the Psycho series takes place during the Sam and Cat spin-off show, so look forward to myself discussing that here soon, like I said. Later this week on the channel, I will have another iCarly video like I mentioned at the start, but it is on the latest 2 episodes of the new show. So expect my thoughts and breakdowns of episode 4 and 5 this Friday of the iCarly revival, and the next 2 episodes after that every other Friday, just so I can give you more substance per video and not have to feel like all you're getting is iCarly videos all the time. Cartoon shows are still being talked about here on the channel. Please, no need to worry. Like I said, I have a lot planned for July. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like as it truly helps out the video, and I very much appreciate it. Subscribe to be a part of my journey through movies and television and how these films and shows affected my life from the past and present. As always, have a good one, and until next time, later.
Yeah, man. This definitely brought back some memories. Going down memory lane, peeping some new things that I just never thought about, never questioned, because I was just there just for laughs and giggles. Not really questioning like the parts that didn't really make any sense. Like what I said about Spencer and how they took him to the basement only for the next scene he's on a death wheel, just continuously spinning the whole time. And you're meaning to tell me that Nora's mom was able to out muscle Spencer and put him on this, like, if you understand how long it took him to get out of those shackles, each one of them too, like his 2 arms, his 2 legs, and then the center, you mean to tell me Nora's mom did all of that to Spencer behind the scenes and he didn't fight back not once? It's just that just doesn't make any sense. Going back to Nora's house doesn't make any sense. Like, they wasn't traumatized enough to where they didn't want to go back at all. Like, I would not go back to that house, especially after like you tried to kidnap me the first time we ever met. Like, what? Like, we didn't even know you. You tried to kidnap us. You know, it's like that just doesn't make any sense. But I know this time they definitely not gonna get fooled again. But that was the last time that they brought up Nora and iCarly. So, like he said, in the spinoff show with Sam and Cat, and from iCarly and Victoria's combined into Sam and Cat, Nora comes back, and I was not expecting that. I thought they was gonna leave her in the past, but nah. They needed her for they needed like a new villain, I guess. I don't know. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Go to my Patreon where all my blog videos will be in the description down below. The videos that I cannot post to YouTube. If you want to further support, go to my PayPal. It's also going to be linked in the description down below. I love and appreciate every single one of you guys, and I hope you guys are here to stay. But with that being said, you guys should already know this by now, man. I'm out of here, guys.